So we're here with Alex, who's from Lafayette, and he has Arcadian ancestry.
Yes.
And I thought it would be interesting to hear a little bit about your family.
Sure. So I think I am 3/4 French Acadian, so that is technically the Acadians who are the French ancestry that came across the Atlantic, settled in Nova Scotia, and then I believe it was the late 1600s they were forced out of Nova Scotia by the English in what we call the Grand Dérangement.
Because I read that they didn't want to pledge allegiance to the crown. They said, "No, merci." And the English didn't like that.
Not that crown anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the British crown.
then the most well-known of that group who were dispersed came around the Atlantic, down the Atlantic coast, around Florida, and then settled in the bayou region of South Louisiana, what we now call Cajun country or Acadiana, after Acadia in Nova Scotia. And I think the other quarter of my ancestry is a French soldier from the French and Indian War, came down the Mississippi River, ended up in Louisiana, intermingled with the Acadians, but it all is French ancestry.
Yeah.
And I believe we were all Normans from Normandy, the northern coast of France.
Yeah.
So
has your family always, has music been a part of your family's life?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When I was probably 10, 11, 12 years old, my father put me and all my brothers in a vehicle, and he took us across town to a gentleman named Mr. Milton Vanagor's house. Milton was a carpenter. I knew all of his family very well, but he was a Cajun fiddle player, and he played with, I would say, maybe the most important Cajun musician of the last 100 years, a gentleman named Irie Lejeune. My mother's a Lejeune, and I think we think we're related at some point, many generations back. So that was my introduction, and I love telling this story about Milton. He was showing us, he's got a dozen fiddles, and I picked one up, and he said, "You see that fiddle?" Yeah, he said, "I cut down that tree."
Amazing.
He made that fiddle as a young man and cut the tree down. I still get goosebumps telling that story. So myself and one of my brothers stayed with trying to play Cajun music for a while. I tried to play the fiddle. I could never figure it out. But luckily, my younger brother, Paul, has been an accordion player ever since. And he plays the Cajun accordion. He's never been in a band. He's very unique. He plays by himself for hours and hours on end. But as he's gotten older, I do have a cousin who's a professional Cajun musician, and they'll team up at family get-togethers, and it's a lot of fun.
Beautiful. So you were talking about who you think your mum might be related to, the famous
Irie Lejeune.
And you were telling me a story about one of his songs that's recorded in his house.
That's right. I wish I could remember the name of the song. But he ended up settling in the little town where I grew up in southwest Louisiana, Welsh, Louisiana, in a little community southwest of Welsh called Ordouin Cove. And I still know where his house is. But there's a legendary story on one of his old recordings where they were all just, very few of them were ever recorded in professional recording studios. It was in his home. His home made of green wood, they said, is how the legend goes. So once they built the home, then as it dried out, it was splitting. And you can hear dogs barking from supposedly dogs outside, the sound of their barking coming through the splits in the walls of the house, and it's on the recording. So.
All right, and you're going to sing one of his songs?
Yeah.
Come in a bit.
This song is, I'm pretty sure it's called La Valse de Grand Chemin, the Big Road Waltz. All right. Get started anytime?
Yeah.
All right. Dis bye-bye à ton pas et ta marche pour revenir à la maison pour me rejoindre. Gardez donc quoi t'as fait souffrir un petit cœur qui t'admire ma douleur. Garde donc, petite fille, toi t'es lâche. Après dans la porte de ma maison. Moi je croyais, petite fille, dont jamais garde vos mains secrètes pour m'espérer. That's it.
Beautiful. So is that in traditional French or is that a Cajun French?
This is very much Cajun French.
Right. So
Yes.
can you just tell us a little bit about what's the song about?
Oh gosh.
Maison, house.
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm saying goodbye to my mother, goodbye to my mother and my darling.
Oh.
I'm going down the road to a home. We'll rejoin later. Look down there, my dear. My heart is bad.
Oh.
Look down there, my dear. You see again the home. I'm not sure what the rest of this means.
So,
most of these songs, though, are like they're blues tracks. But
yeah.
The lyrics are they seem to be, well, American blues was probably evolving at the same time as songs like this.
Mm.
But you know, from like where my parents, they're now 75 years old. When they were kids, like my great-grandmother did not speak English. She knew 5 words. Her children, my grandparents, English was their second language. When my parents were growing up, so in the late 50s to mid 60s, they specifically were not taught French because the Cajun French and the Arcadian French culture, and even in South Louisiana, was, well, I would just say it was frowned upon.
Mm.
You were not encouraged to, they certainly didn't teach it in schools.
Mm.
And so I can remember some of my earliest memories walking into the room, into the kitchen where my grandparents were having a conversation. They're talking in French. As soon as I walk in, they stop and they switch to English. Luckily, it was in the mid 70s. I don't have a great understanding of the history. Mid 70s, though, that was some anthropologists, for lack of a better term, and just some Cajun enthusiasts in Lafayette held an event that history has looked back upon. That was the first event that became Festival Arcadian et Creole. And that was really the awakening of an appreciation for the Cajun French culture.
Celebrating it instead of...
Yes.
So did you then learn some French?
No. I mean, we took it. I took it in school, high school, and I think I took one semester of Cajun French in college at LSU in Baton Rouge, but I never practiced it enough to learn it. But there are, most every little town in Cajun country now has at least a coffee hour or a French table.
Fantastic.
Where if you want to learn, you can go find a table within 15 minutes of wherever you are. Maybe not every day of the week, but at least one day a week.
That's fantastic.
And practice your Cajun French.
Mm. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank y'all. Happy to do it.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So do you understand the Cajun French?
No. Some of the curse words.
They're the best.
Thank you, Alex. That was great.
Oh, pleasure meeting y'all.
Thank you.